And that evening and morning were the third day. And the Most High said, Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And the powers made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. This is the brother Kratazan from the GMS Nebraska camp, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This one being entitled, We Are at the End, the Signs of Heaven. All right, and I got a couple articles that I want to go over, just some recent news that I came across, and Lord's what is edifying. First off, that scripture that I read was Genesis 1, starting at verse 13 through 16, explaining how the powers made, the sun and the moon and the stars, and He gave it to us for signs. What sign is this for? The sign of the end. Let's grabs uh, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 43 verse 6 says he made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. Right? So we're coming along, we're getting to the end of this rulership, and it's gonna be transferred unto Yahweh Shem Shai, and these signs are just proof of how close we really are. So this is from myjournalcourier.com. All right, dated March 25th. So it was from earlier this week. It says anticipation builds for Blaze Star Nova explosion possible on March 27th. So it's March 29th. So obviously it didn't happen on the 27th. But in my mind, I don't think it's an exact science. I'm not gonna say I understand exactly how they calculated this date, which we'll get into that here shortly. But in my mind, it could happen any day. It could happen, any time this year. Lord's will happen soon enough, because like I said, these are just parts of the signs that the Most High is giving us, that we're at the end. All right. So it says last summer, NASA scientists anticipated a rare once in a lifetime event as professional and amateur astronomers alike became fixated on one small constellation deep in the night sky, approximately 3,000 light years from Earth. However, the event did not occur last summer, and scientists are anticipating it could possibly happen this Thursday, March 27th. It said the anticipation event is the explosion of the Blaze star, located among seven stars of Corona Borealis within the Northern Crown, which was supposed to go nova last year and will be visible to the naked eye. While predicting the eruptions of stars is not an exact science, EarthSky reported that the Blaze star has had two known eruptions in the past 80 years. It's like in the past, both 80 years apart. Those events were May 12th, 1866, and February 9th, 1946. So I guess they're saying, add 80 years to that, and it's going to go again. It says, while 80 years uh, from 1946 to 2026, scientists recorded in 1946 that before the binary star went nova and exploded, it would brighten and dim before its last eruption in 1946, similar to what it's doing now. Um, Gene Snyder of the Paris Observatory published in the research notes of the American Astronomical Society in October 2024, supporting the possibility of the Blaze star erupting on March 27th or maybe November 10th, of 2025. I don't understand how he has these dates months apart, or how he's coming to these dates. But like I said, Lord's will, it does occur this year or soon enough. Whenever it's going to occur, when the Most High deems it necessary at the end of the day. But like I said, just further cementing these signs coming from the heavens. It says Snyder came to his possible dates by maybe I should have read a little more, huh? Snyder came to his possible dates using a combination of the previous eruption dates and the orbital ephemeris of the binary system. A portion of the report read, while Snyder cannot predict the exact date, he's trying to predict eruption dates with the precision of a week or two. So, could be within a week or two that we see this. It says a nova differs from a supernova, which is an explosion that destroys a dying star or dying stars. NASA explains during a nova event, the dwarf star remains intact and sends accumulated material hurling into space in a blinding flash. The nova cycle typically repeats itself over time as a process that can carry on for thousands of years. So they're saying, it happened, 160 years ago, it happened 80 years ago. It should happen, within the next year or so. And it's a flash that should be visible with the naked eye. So we should be able to look in the sky and see it, which would, give us a sign from the heavens. Computer, y'all bear with me. My computer's kind of messing up, Lord, as well. Y'all caught all that. It says there are a few recurring novae with short cycles, but typically we don't often see a repeated outburst in a human lifetime, and rarely one so relatively close to our own system, said Rebecca Hounsell, an assistant research scientist specializing in nova events at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. It's incredibly exciting to have a front row seat, right? So, we got this star that's supposed to explode that would, when you see the picture that they give, I guess it would be something similar to that. I think I see some other pictures. Let me see. Who knows what it'll actually look like, I think these are just like artist depictions. But this would be a hell of a sign from heaven if we see something like this. And then we got this one from ScienceAlert.com, dated March 26th, so again earlier this week. It says supermoon this week will coincide with rare Devil's Horn solar eclipse. So on March 29th, which is tonight, there's going to be a perigee, a point in the elliptical orbit that brings it closer to Earth. This is known as a supermoon, famous for appearing in the sky as a larger than usual luminous orb and presenting some excellent astrophotography opportunities. Here's the kicker, though. The March 29th supermoon is during the moon's new phase, when its nightshade is directly facing Earth. It will be completely dark, visible only in regions where the night sky isn't drowned out by artificial illumination on the Earth's surface. It says new moons don't usually make the news, but the March 29th event is special. On the same day, the northern hemisphere will experience a partial solar eclipse when the moon phases in front of the sun, partially obscuring its disk. The result of this will be a rarely seen crescent sun bearing resemblance to the set of horns in the sky, such as an eclipse. Such an eclipse usually referred to as a devil horns eclipse. Supermoons are actually pretty common. Quirk of the changing distance between the Earth and the Moon, right? So, guess this gives you, that's really, this see if there's anything on here.
Been observing the eclipse for themselves in a number of different places around the world. We actually do have our view up there in the top right. We've got Siena in Italy on the right middle there, who seem to be having a similar problem to us now with some clouds coming across. But we do have a fantastic view of the sun right in the center. We've got that sunspot up about the 11 o'clock position that we have on our view as well, and a few other sunspots.
Yeah, so I'm sure, you can go check out this video, in plenty of places. It speaks about, the three remaining supermoons in 25 will take place April 27th, May 27th, and June 25th. Sadly, there are no solar eclipses on those days, although there will be partial eclipse on September 21st that will be visible from New Zealand and Antarctica. So a lot of signs from heaven, this year. You had the blood moon on the Passover. It's just a lot going on right now. A lot going on in prophecy. Things is moving fast. A lot of legislation being passed. A lot of saber rattling with these wars and rumors of wars. So, just know that we at the end, and we just waiting on them to make their move so that we can get up out of here. So, Lord's will, this was edifying, and we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakar Kadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. They shalom.